and of course the other places in Kiharu. But I want to laud the kind of praise and worship and choir that is in this AIC Milimani. I almost thought Honorable KJ will enlist to one of the choirs because they are lovely to say the least. Very nice. We feel very blessed. I also want to thank Reverend Munyambo for that very great sermon. It has talked to all of us, and the beauty is that as the Christians of AIC Milimani are very much aware, it is not a service that you expected His Excellency to be here today. And therefore the sermon is a sermon ni sisi tumeipata, haijakuwa prepared because we were coming. And I think that is how God speaks to people. Lakini uniruhusu kidogo Reverend Munyambo, kwa sababu I've seen the way God has blessed you in terms of giving sermons in a manner that is captivating. Allow me also to give a rejoinder a little bit. First of all, to thank you, because when you compared the Philistines and the Israelites, mimi niliona where I was seated with His Excellency, it is the place you pointed as Israel. And therefore, those people who are not this side, I think they are Philistines, but I don't want to say which side they are. I also don't want to say that the preacher could be seated on that side also. Lakini pia hapo umetusomea kitambu na wakakuja na the king said that whoever the party that you read about the daughter, na wakakubaliana maneno mingi, wakakubaliana na nikaona kuna watu wanaanza kucheka already. Mimi nimejaribu kutafuta, pengine utanionyesha pahali ilisemekana no payment of taxes, but I'll keep searching. So I really want to thank you very much for that great sermon. Mimi yangu ni machache. You know, His Excellency the President, you are my friend. And I know for sure, as Honorable for Kasarani has said, our captain, that God always chooses the right tool at the right time for the right job. And I can confirm, and I don't want to chest dump, I'm just saying it in humility, that having known the kind of challenges in our country, and having known the character of the person leading our country, it is clear that God knew the kind of turbulence you are going to face, but He also knew that He has the right tool for the job. The country needs a very resolute person and a very bold person, and I am sure we got the best. And His Excellency, Your Excellency, when I was in class 6 in primary school, I have an uncle who is still there even now, who was doing some businesses here in Nairobi. And he used to visit us in Muranga in a yellow KUI, a vehicle, the only vehicle any of my uncle had, KUI 216. And when I was in class 6, because my uncle was this well-built people, and of course with the public opinion, and that time when we were in class 6, you know that the pinnacle of making it, number one, is of course to have a vehicle, and if possible, a public opinion. So, mimi nikaita baraza kwetu nyumbani. And I told my mother and my father, this familia yetu, yule mtu ambaye na I look up to is my uncle, because he has a vehicle. Na mimi nikisoma historia ya my uncle, hajasoma sana. So mimi nikaambia my mother and my father, since I want to be rich, and my uncle is rich, and my uncle didn't go to school, mimi wacha nianza biashara saa hii, kwa sababu naona sio masomo peke yake. And I started, by the way, a kiosk. My father was understanding. I started a kiosk, my first kiosk in class 6. Unfortunately, by the time I was reaching class 7, a boy who was becoming number 2 was depreciating. So my father, of course, told me to ward up the shop, and that was the first comma of doing business. So my father realized I had an ambition. Na kuna ile kitu ilikuwa inanifurahisha ya kuwa na duka. But he also realized that he had a divine responsibility to raise up a son. And therefore, whatever was fashionable to me then, whatever was good to me then, my father had to make it become a postponement. He had to tell me, yes, it is good, but it's not the right time. Na akaniambia maneno ya biashara kwanza ikwame. His Excellency the President, God has made you the President of Kenya, but also the father of our nation, Kenya. At such a time like this, our country does not need populism, and especially irresponsible populism. My father would have told me, kijana yangu nakupenda, wewe fanya biashara. But he had a divine role, not just to please me, but to do what is right for my future. Mr. President, you came to a country where our public debt is 9 trillion Kenya shillings. You came to a country where inflation was almost going to double digit. You came to a country where much of the workforce, the able workforce, 36% of those who are qualified to work have no jobs. You came to a country where we are not even able to feed ourselves. Mr. President, you had a choice.